In Module 1, you built your evacuation doctrine. You defined your GO triggers, your no-go stabilizers, your decision authority, your golden exit window. Now we move to the second foundational pillar. If your trigger activates and you leave, where are you going?
Away from here is not a destination. Running without a pre-selected, evaluated location is panic. A bug-out location must be selected deliberately. It must be stress-tested. It must survive contact with reality.
Preparedness culture often romanticizes evacuation. Head to the mountains, go to the woods, find somewhere remote. That is not strategy. Isolation alone does not equal safety. A location is only viable if it meets defined criteria under stress. A scenic location can be in a wildfire corridor, in a floodplain, on a predictable evacuation artery, near a population cluster, or legally unusable. You are not selecting a campsite. You are selecting a relocation site under degraded infrastructure. The standard is higher. Every potential location must pass 7 objective tests, no exceptions. 1. Reachability. If you cannot realistically reach it under degraded conditions, it does not exist. Can I reach it within 1 tank of fuel? Can I reach it if highways are closed? Can I reach it using secondary roads only? Can I reach it if traffic volume doubles? Can I reach it if I must abandon vehicle within 5 to 10 miles? Distance doctrine. For most suburban households, viable sites are 50 to 150 miles away. Less than 50 miles risks population spillover. More than 150 miles increases fuel dependency and fatigue risk. Distance must balance accessibility, population buffer, infrastructure survivability. Too far is not strength. Too close is not safety. Balance is strategy. 2. Water reliability. Water must be year-round, accessible, filterable, elevationally safe. Evaluate. Is the source flowing? Is it spring-fed? What exists upstream? Agricultural runoff? Industrial discharge? Urban waste? Is the site in a drainage basin? Is it inside a 100-year floodplain? Water proximity without flood elevation is a mistake. Water without filtration planning is incomplete. Water access without concealment invites exposure. 3. Population buffer. People flee predictably. They follow highways. They follow river corridors. They head toward lakes and campgrounds. They move radially outward from cities. Your location must not lie directly in a predictable migration path. Study maps. Look at major arteries. Look at lake access roads. Look at state park entrances. If your location sits 10 miles off the most obvious evacuation highway from a metro area, it will not be isolated during crisis. Isolation is not distance alone. Isolation is reduced probability of human convergence. 4. Concealment. Visibility increases encounter probability. Evaluate. Is the site visible from road? Is it near trailhead? Is it near open field? Does terrain break line of sight? Is there tree cover? Are you silhouetted on ridgeline? Concealment is passive security. You are not building fortification. You are reducing friction. 5. Sustainability potential. Even if your plan is 3 to 7 days, your location must survive the possibility of 2 to 3 weeks. Evaluate. Firewood availability, fishing access, gain density, forage potential, sun exposure for solar charging. Flat ground for temporary shelter. You are not becoming self-sufficient. You are reducing total dependency on what you carried. 6. Seasonal viability. Visit in multiple conditions. Summer, heat exposure, insects, wildfire corridor risk. Winter, snow closure, ice accumulation, road passability. Spring, mud season, flood expansion. Fall, hunting season pressure. Location that works in July may fail in January. 7. Legal status. Legal exposure returns after crisis. Evaluate. Private land with written permission,
federal land managed by the United States Forest Service, land under the Bureau of Land Management, seasonal closure rules, camping duration limits. Never assume abandoned equals safe. Choose locations you can legally defend after the event. Section 3. Live Scoring Walkthrough. Let's evaluate 2 hypothetical sites. Location A, 70 miles from home, on state forest land, near Visible Lake, 2 miles from major highway, strong water, high recreational use. Score: reachability, 4. Water, 5. Population buffer, 2. Concealment, 3. Sustainability, 4. Seasonal viability, 3. Legal clarity, 4. Total, moderate. Problem: predictable congregation zone. Now location B, 95 miles from home, no direct highway access. Spring-fed creek, surrounded by mixed terrain, no visible recreation infrastructure, lower population density. Score: reachability, 3. Water, 5. Population buffer, 4. Concealment, 4. Sustainability, 4. Seasonal viability, 4. Legal clarity, 4. Total, stronger strategic viability. Scoring reveals flaws, emotion misses. Section 4. 48-hour arrival simulation. You arrive at 4 p.m. Now what? Where do you stage vehicle? Is vehicle visible from road? Where is water relative to camp? Is there elevation advantage? What happens at night? Is temperature survivable? At 9 p.m., another vehicle drives nearby. Is your location exposed? Do you reposition? Stress test arrival before crisis. Section 5. If others arrive first. This is rarely considered. You arrive and find 5 families already present. Questions: are they organized? Are resources shared? Is water source sufficient? Is tension visible? Does presence increase exposure? Your options: remain cautiously, shift to secondary site, reposition within area, pre-decide threshold. Do not improvise social negotiation under stress. Section 6. Terrain Reading Doctrine. Understand basic topography. Contour lines close together, steep terrain. Valleys, water flow and flood risk. Ridges, visibility exposure. Saddles, travel corridors. Drainage lines, water source and flood hazard. Use map to identify elevated concealed ground near water, multiple approach paths, secondary exit options. Terrain literacy increases survivability. Section 7. Environmental Risk Overlay. Overlay: floodplain maps, wildfire burn history, drought data, storm frequency. Do not relocate from wildfire risk into wildfire corridor. Do not relocate from flood risk into drainage basin. Relocation must not exchange one hazard for another. Section 8. Refugee Flow Modeling. Advanced. Study likely human movement. People move toward visible infrastructure, water access, large parking areas, known recreation sites. Avoid alignment with interstate corridors, major lakes near cities, national park entrances, predictable congregation zones. Move laterally, not radially outward. Section 9. Emotional bias in location selection. Nostalgia is dangerous. Grandparents' cabin, childhood hunting land, favorite vacation site. Emotional attachment distorts evaluation. Score objectively. Sentiment must not override safety. Section 10. Stress testing checklist. Ask: if access road blocked, what is backup? If wildfire shifts direction, what is exit? If water source dries, what is secondary? If group conflict arises, what is reposition plan? If law enforcement restricts access, what is tertiary? Stress test before crisis. Section 11. Final selection protocol. Step 1. Identify 3 candidate sites. Step 2. Score objectively. Step 3. Visit physically. Step 4. Drive at least one secondary route. Step 5. Evaluate seasonal risks. Step 6. Assign primary, secondary, tertiary.
Step 7. Review annually. Doctrine must be maintained. Final takeaways. A bug-out location is not a fantasy refuge. It is a strategic repositioning site. It must be reachable, water secure, outside predictable migration flow, concealed, sustainable, seasonally viable, legally defensible, redundant, scored, stress-tested.
Emotion must not drive selection. Structure must. In Module 3, we build the movement doctrine, how to reach that location intelligently under degraded conditions.